Welcome back to Simple Human Design. I'm Charlie and I have a guest for you today. This is the amazing Jan from the UK, but actually you live in Spain, which is kind of awesome. So today because we're both splenic projectors, we're just gonna roll with it and just see what happens, see what amazing magic comes out. So I wanted to start by asking you the question of how did human design change your life?
I love that. Such a simple question and such an expansive question. Um, so human design came into my life probably about 20, 25 years ago, something
Wow.
like that initially. Um, I was deep into the Tony Robbins world at the time and I was doing all the things.
Yep.
Like Tony, NLP, hypnotherapy, hypnosis, blah, 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 blah. And somebody was like, "Oh, should check out human design." I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give that a go. See what that is." Um, Spent a little bit of time with it, got a reading from someone, and there was just something about and now I know, like my my intuition was like, not this person, and not now. But at the time, it was just like, this is all bullshit. This makes no sense to
Oh,
me. I'm not interested in any of this. Thank you very much.
wow, really?
And then about 5, 6 years later, somebody else was talking about it. And then I was like, okay, I'll give it another go. And again, the person with whom I was connected didn't quite vibe. And it wasn't quite the same, like, no, this is all bullshit. It was more, I think there's something in this. I just really struggle to hear what it is and
Hmm.
to make sense of it all. And then about 5, 7 years later, whenever it was that I found Laveena, um, that's when it all started to make sense. It's like, okay, something about her voice, the way she explains this, the way this is all set out. This I can get behind.
Hmm.
Why wasn't this done before? Like, I'd have been all over this 20 years ago if da 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 da. And then went down quite a deep, like, a rabbit hole with Lavina and yourself. We're on similar courses, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Um, and got to really see at like a molecular level, like how my life can work, um, and why it often does not.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I mean, we met through Laveena, didn't we? So Laveena is one of my human design teachers that I learned a lot with. I think I spent about 2 years, learning everything I possibly could from Laveena. And yeah, that's how you and I met actually. And it's so interesting hearing that story of, how your spleen, your intuition was just like, no, this is not it, this is not right. And then when you hear that correct frequency, and I was the same with Lavina. I got to be honest, I didn't understand what she was talking about on her web pages. So like if I read anything from her, I was just like, I don't get this. As soon as I heard the frequency in her voice, I was like, okay, there's something here. And I dived into a year's coaching with her. Um, I don't know how, I don't know why, but my spleen said yeah, and I just did it. Yeah, it
I
happens,
don't
right?
think I ever found any of her websites. If I had, I might not have actually done anything. I found her on YouTube, or
Yeah.
someone shared something of hers, whatever it was. Like it was, I heard her, and it's like, ah. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Like
Yeah.
that frequency thing, and through some of the deep work we've done in those courses, I realized that I am really like attuned to what I
Hmm.
hear. Has to
Yeah.
sound good. Otherwise, it's like,
Yes.
nah, nah.
Yeah, me too. And like, funnily enough, I actually like kind of knew this about myself a little bit anyway before I found human design. Like, I was very much like making decisions of whether I wanted to talk or work or, just even just be around certain people based on how their energy was coming into my aura and how attuned I was to them. And I actually found out recently. I took a cognitive assessment to see about a little bit about neurodiversity and everything, and I did find out that the best way for me to understand, like actually understand something, whether it's, like a scientific fact or whatever, is that I do need to hear it rather than see it written. So that matches. Yeah. Yeah. So you're a 4/6 splenic projector, aren't you?
Yeah, triple split.
Yeah. Oh, triple
Love the
split.
splits.
Yeah.
Love the splits.
So let's talk about that then a little bit. What's it like being a triple split?
Um, I love that question because it's really difficult to answer because it's like,
Yeah.
to what do I compare it? Um,
Yes.
so what is it like? It's I have discerned this more and more over the years of, so I'm an ambivert as well. So I love being around
Okay.
people and I love being on my own. And one
Mm-hmm.
of the reasons I've moved to this part of Spain is because it's really quiet. And I'm renting this place, which is like, it's at the edge of town and at the edge of country. So it's right in this space, like this liminal space of not quite full countryside, not quite
Mm.
town. And
It's
it's quiet
perfect.
and it's secluded. And I can walk into town in 10 minutes. I can walk up into the mountains in 15. And most of the time I spend alone in the grounds here. It's like, some of my mates are like, yeah, but you're such a gregarious guy and you're always in the, are you not bored? I'm like, no, I actually freaking love it.
Yeah, that's the projector side of you.
100%. And the triple split bit is, sometimes I can know that there is something I want to create. Like, I've got an idea for something and I've got like the nugget, and it's like there is something wants to be birthed. Like I can feel it in my body. I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, okay. The day is clear. I'm up early. I've had my coffee. Like everything's set. I'm like super on. Let's let this. Where's it gone? What's? I had this thought. It was there, and I've like, what the, yeah. And
It's
so
gone.
I've learned over time. I then need to be like, okay, I need to go for a little walk
Mm-hmm.
and spend some time around other people, and not like try and force it, and at the same time still hold that idea loosely in my mind as I'm walking around and moving into different auric fields, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
having a chat, sometimes not, sometimes just sat and letting other people walk past me. Give myself a couple of hours and then come back here. And then it's like, oh yeah, that was, and out it
And
comes.
then it
So it's,
goes,
the
yeah.
frustration is like, I can feel it. I know there is something there. And then occasionally I have to be around others in order for me to access the bits that will make it
Yeah. That'll
like
make
what
it
I want it to
happen.
be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so obviously, my podcast is for new to human design people. So I'm just going to explain a little bit about what a triple split is. So the way I like to describe it is that, like we all have kind of like an energy circuit as such. And for a lot of people, that energy circuit is not necessarily connected 100% of the time when we're by ourselves. For some people, it is. If you have single definition in your chart, you are already, complete basically. If you're split like myself, or a triple split like Jan, or a quadruple split, which apparently is very rare, this is where we have different bits of energy in our body graphs that aren't connected together. So with yours, actually, I've just taken a little sneak peek at your chart again. You've got your head and your ajna defined, but you haven't got that connection in between your ajna and your throat. So I can see why it's there, the ideas are there, the concepts are there, the inspiration is there, but you just need somebody to bridge you to get it out, to manifest it, to express it. Does that sound right? I've just kind of put the theory to your lived experience there.
Más o menos, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other part of the discernment for me in terms of the lived experience is knowing when I've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, that's bridged. I don't need to do any more. I can now go. And sometimes I stick around, and then I get caught up in other stuff, which kind of derails where I was at because I'm taking on other bits and pieces, and it's like it's finding that balance.
Yeah.
But then that's life in general, right? Is leaning in, leaning out. Where am I feeling? What am I feeling? Is that really true? Is it not? You know, it's all of that. It's all about discernment.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, that understanding of when enough is enough, that is the wisdom of our undefined sacral centers, isn't it? It's just discerning, okay, so yes, I've been around people, but I've had enough now because, that idea is now fully formed and I can go ahead and, get it done. Or for me, like in my lived experience, it's like, have I had enough of this energy that I know might drain me if I stay there even more?
And that
So do I
that's
need to
the
speak?
real that's the real challenge for me at
Yeah.
least, because it's that energy is quite not quite. It can be very, very seductive and alluring because
Yes.
it's like, oh,
Oh my
I feel
gosh.
so alive. Like I'm ready.
Yes.
Oh, come on. And then it's like, oh yeah, that wasn't mine. That's right. I remember. Shit.
Yeah, it is, and that I love that word as well, seductive, because I call it addictive sometimes because I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, this is so good, I really love it, and then I come away and I'm like, oh no, I'm really tired actually now. So yes, it is very good for non-sacrals like us as projectors to really have that conscious awareness of, yeah, okay, it's seductive, and yes, it's gorgeous, and yes, it's, addictive, but hold on a sec, enough is enough now. So yeah, that's brilliant.
How do you tend to discern that? Like what tips, tricks, tools do you use for you?
So I think it's just literally that conscious awareness of, just knowing that I've spent a little bit too much time with certain people, etc. And I just need to step away. And I actually don't often feel it in my body at all, especially when I'm around people. So, for example, I went to, it was kind of like a mindful meetup walk, and everybody was mindful, everybody was spiritual. So that kind of, there wasn't any like too much energy there that was a bit sort of, like jolted or anything. So I'm not feeling anything in my body, but because it's been an hour's walk, a meditation, an hour's walk, and then another hour talking, I'm like, okay, even though I don't feel it in my body, let's drive home now. Let's be by myself. So sometimes it is just literally that. Sometimes I do feel it in my body. Sometimes I'll meet somebody and within 5 minutes I'll be falling asleep on the sofa. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I'll have a look at your chart in a second, but I have the environment where I have to feel active in my environment. So if I don't feel active in my environment, then I'm not in the right place.
So is that markets?
Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I'm valleys.
Valleys. Okay. Is that the right facing arrow or left? I can't remember. You can't remember
Uh,
either, don't worry. It's fine. It's fine. I should just have my human design Bible out, but don't worry. Yeah, so yeah, being inactive in an environment around sacred beings is a big sign for me, like feeling
right.
tired, feeling drained, etc. So that's one where yeah, I know that I need to leave. Mhm.
I love that. I love the simplicity as well of like just the time limit. Like, okay, I've had 2 hours or whatever the number is. I know this is great, but it's time for me to go.
Yeah. Yeah, and I really wanted to stay. Like, we were having conversations, and there was lots of different people to talk to, and everybody was lovely. And like one of my very good friends was there because she was leading it, also a splenic projector. And I just wanted to soak in all the goodness, but I had already for 4 hours, so it was fine, and I just left.
Mm.
So yeah, and
Yeah, I
everything's
think
perfect.
that's the thing, isn't it? Is the recognizing like what debt am I willing to pay?
Yes.
Do I want to pay the debt of a little bit of FOMO, or do I want to pay the debt of maybe a day, day and a half, 2 days of like total crash?
Yes. Exactly. So you get that as well. Like if you spend too much time around, the wrong people potentially, or just too much, you'll have the crash for a day or two. Because I do.
I get it more, and I think this might be a masculine, feminine, male, female socialized conditioning.
Hmm.
It's like I get the feeling. It's like I know I'm tired, and it's like yeah, I could really just sleep all day today. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's not how we're going to do this, Jan. That's not no
Yeah.
no no no. We've got shit to do. Just man up and deal with it. And it's like no, but I just like no, but, no, Jan, come on, let's go. So it's that kind of drill sergeant e. No, you got to get up, got to go,
Yeah.
which is such a generator conditioning, but it's like it's deeply
Yeah.
rooted, and the more the more I can discern, like time is such an interesting concept, right? We might be going off tangent here.
It's
Let's just go
fine.
with it.
It's splenic. It's
Um,
fine.
so this idea that right, I only have a certain amount of time to get this thing done, right?
Hmm.
Whether it be a client deliverable, whether it be a new training program, whatever it is, right? I have X amount of time.
Yep.
Okay, right, yeah, I have X amount of time, and then there's this. I experience it as three different types of conversation. There's the compassionate conversation, which is, oh yeah, there's still plenty of time, and it's actually much more productive and healthy and sustainable and useful if you rest for a few hours
Hmm.
and then go. And
Yes.
then there's another conversation. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done this. Like, how many times do you need to go and push yourself too hard before you realize that it's just not, that's not how you operate. So just stop doing it. Why are you doing it? Da-da-da-da. And then I'll spend like a few hours giving myself a hard time. And then
Hmm.
I'll have another conversation. Why have we been doing this? We've got other stuff to do. What is wrong with you? Just get on and do it. And then there's the third version, which is, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. You're tired. Great. Other people are tired. Get up. Do it. Get it done.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. It's that undefined root center. Yeah. All to do with stress and pressure and time and, got to get it done. And then when I get it done, I've got to add more to my to-do list and then I've got to get that done and it's never ending. Yeah.
Do. Why? Just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. And like I know that we're talking a lot about projectors and about because we're projectors and we're talking a lot about undefined sacrals, but actually, like when I talk to my manifesting generator and generator clients, slowing down is like the best thing for them sometimes because even you know the crazy manifesting generators that go all the time, they need to slow down because guess what? When they slow down, they have creative, moments and creativity just arises and things happen and then all of a sudden they're going again. So I know that we're talking a lot about projectors right now, but slowing down is just it's just conditioned in every one of us that we have to go all the time and we don't.
That's one of the other reasons I love living here. Like, it's been a real culture shock
Yeah.
because everything, a lot of things, I'm so used to like, okay, so I said this and therefore that will get done and that will be done tomorrow. And it's like, oh, no, it's on the list. Okay, so when? Oh, whenever. Yeah, but what does whenever mean? Like, can you give me some kind of a time scale? It'll be done. Yeah, no, I hear that it will be done. And when? And the first, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, that wound me up. And now
Really?
it's like, I actually really appreciate it. It's like, I know you've heard me. I know you said it will be done. I trust that it will be done. And now I can just let it go. It's like, I don't have to worry about it anymore. You've got it.
Mm,
You know it needs to be done. You've said it will be done. I can then just let it go.
yeah. Yeah. Because the thing is that, like I talk about this a little bit with my clients. It's like when we live in our definition, i.e., your splenic, that's your authority. So when you have the intuition or the energy to do, that thing that you need to do, it will get done because it's all in divine timing. Not necessarily divine timing when it's like doing stuff, but it's all in the right timing. But if you live in your not self, in your undefined centers, like your undefined root center, for example, then you're living out of alignment. You're living out of that beautiful, amazing definition that is your spleen. So yeah, this conversation with your ego mind. I think that might be what we'll call this episode.
I think that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about conversations, right? Because it's that internal conversation is really important. And we were talking about that earlier, like discerning what's true, what's not, what is
Mm-hmm.
conditioning, what is not, and how do I discern whether I'm having a conversation with my ego mind or with like my spirit body mind?
Yeah.
And that's definitely something that I've been playing with to greater and lesser extent over the years. And I keep coming back to, yeah, I do. I keep coming back to, and it is my go-to tool at the moment is muscle testing.
Oh, really? Interesting. So, muscle testing is in kinesiology, or do you do the psyche one as well?
I do what is the easiest and most consistent and congruent for me. I do a stand, and my yes is forward and my no is backwards.
Okay.
And I just ask, like, I have a little check. It's like, all right, body bod bod. I call my body bod bod,
Love
because it's like, let's be
it.
playful with this. Let's be playful with this. All
Yeah,
right,
why
body bod
not?
bod. What are we like? What are we feeling about this? Is this a yes? And then find out, and that's it. Like whenever I'm feeling a little like unsure and I'm caught in a bit of a mind trap, it's like, all right, whoa. Let's step out of this and get into a different level of wisdom. Like, what is it that I need to do now?
Love it. And that's so in touch with your splenic intuition as well, because, the spleen, it's all about how the body knows. And, everybody's body knows, right? But with splenic intuition, it's kind of a little bit more heightened, I feel. And, like I sometimes say to people, like, let's say you're driving along and you put your foot on the brake and you're like, why did I just do that? And then all of a sudden a lorry comes around the corner and you're like, that's why I put my foot on the brake, because if I hadn't, I would have gone into the lorry. So it's, that can be taken at any level of our awareness. It could be literally be like you've said, you stand up, maybe shake it out a bit. I probably would shake it out myself. And then you ask your body, yes or no. And it's going to tell you the truth. It's going to tell you the answer. I love that. That's amazing. Yeah,
I love
brilliant.
it, and I hate it too, because it's like, surely we've been doing this often enough, guys. Come on, we've got this nailed down, right? Why do I have to go through this rigmarole of shaking it out, standing up, and asking you specifically? Can you not just? And my body's
Tell
probably
me.
like, we're telling you all the freaking time, mate. You just can't
Yeah,
hear us.
I know. It's hard. It's hard to hear that splenic whisper. It really is. Or for me, it's like a bodily knowing. So, sometimes it's not necessarily whisper, but it's just like a body thing. It's like my body knows that this is correct for me. So, but
Yeah,
you don't hear it all the time. You don't feel it all the time. So, yeah,
yeah.
I love that. I
I
might actually
I
steal
actually
that.
remember. Sorry, say that again.
I might steal that little trick from you, by the way. Stand up and ask
Have
it
it.
yes or
It's
no
it's not stolen. It's for you, for whomever
for
hears this and likes
everybody.
it. Use it. Have it.
Perfect.
Um, and actually, you saying like it's not there all the time. I remember it's just brought back a memory of going quite deep into this with Laveena when we were talking about splenic intuition, because it's like, yeah, I know I have it. Like for instance, when I moved here, I spent 2, 3 years looking around for a place. So I'd fly out, I'd look at a few places, I'd fly back, I'd fly, and I was really specific with the letting agents, like what I'm looking for, and they'd show me, and I don't know, 70% of the time it ticked the boxes, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, this isn't right, and they're like, but look, it Like all of these things that you've asked for, it's like that, yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Oh, you're so picky. It's like, no, I'm not picky. I'm really clear. And then as soon as I landed here, like walked around, it's like, yeah. And it didn't tick all of the boxes, but my agent knew me enough by that point. She was like, I'm not sure if this is right or not, but it's kind of a bit weird. So it's probably for you. I was like, okay, cool. And
Love
had
it.
a little wander around. It's like, yeah, we can, this is us. This is us. Like when it comes to place, my body is so clear with me. Like
Mm.
the first visceral memory that I have was when I went to university. So I'm going around looking at all the different universities to go to, and the last one on the list was Sheffield, and I arrived in the pissing rain on a
As
train
usual.
that was over full and late, and yet as soon as my foot was on the platform at Sheffield, my body was like, "We're coming here."
Wow.
And it's like, really? After all of this shit and this? It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're coming here.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, like I obviously I have that all the time. Now that I know that I'm splenic, I have that all the time, and I know, when I, set foot in somewhere that it's the right place for me. Um, I had a very big experience recently that Reading was definitely not the right place for me, but Devon is, so that's why I live in Devon. But even like hearing that story, I think I felt that as well when I was choosing universities. And it's it's the same thing across everywhere. It's like, where are we going to live? Um, you know, who we're going to be friends with, who we're going to, go on dates with, all this sort of stuff. You just know sometimes, don't you? And sometimes you kind of know, but you think, yeah, it's probably a no, but I'm going to try it anyway, and you get it wrong. And it's like, okay, if you get it wrong, that's fine, because that's just a learning. So, yeah, I love that. It's amazing. I would actually love to hear what it is you do, because we're going to wrap up in a little bit. So do you want to explain what you do for people?
What do I do for people? I
Well, you're a
I scare
projector,
the living
so
crap. I scare the living crap out of people for a living. That's a little bit flippant. Um, my mission, my purpose actually is, we talk about projectors being about working out systems and becoming masters of systems.
Mhm.
And for me, it's about fear. Like, what is the fear that is in the way of you living the life that you want to live and that you actually were born to live? So my whole 30 odd years of experimentation with all sorts of modalities has been for me to pick out a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of the other, and find a system that works to really, like, quickly and deeply understand what are the original wounds that you have internalized that have created an internal fear script that is running your life.
Yeah,
And then, unless and until we understand that and unpack that, you're going to be doing the same shit over and over and over again. So
yeah,
that's what I do. I get into like the cool shit, the shadow
yeah,
shit, the good
yeah. I
shit.
love it. Yeah, and I think like as a projector, I think you're really well positioned to do that because we definitely see, very deeply into other people's sort of souls and psyches, etc. And yeah, that sounds perfect. For you. So
Thank
yay.
you.
Um, I would love to just like wrap up with, is there anything that you want to share with my audience about, I don't know, lived experience of human design or intuition or anything like that? Just like one little nugget of wisdom just to wrap up.
Great question. No pressure with nugget of wisdom.
No
Um,
pressure. It's going to be wisdom anyway. I know that.
I think for me, it's the simple is always the best, right? I just have to keep coming back to what is my strategy, what is my authority.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's frustrating and it's frustrating. And
Yeah.
that's just the way it is. Like, what's my strategy? What's my authority? Am I
Mm,
following my strategy and authority? Am I not? If I am,
yeah.
great. If I'm not, that's probably why things aren't working out.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I love that. Coming back to strategy and authority, that's literally just, human design in a nutshell. You can take your environment or your digestion, or what gate 56 means in your conscious sun and all this sort of stuff. But if you don't come back to your strategy and authority every single time, then yeah, you're not going to be living a life that's purpose and heart led, etc. So great, I love that. Keep it simple. It's good stuff. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting
My
today. I
pleasure.
know that
My pleasure.
it's just full of wisdom as usual, like I knew it would be. So thank you so much. And if you want to connect with Jan, then all the links will be down below, even the show notes or on the YouTube description. And thank you very much for tuning in to Simple Human Design again. And thank you very much, Jan, for joining me.
My pleasure. And keep coming back.
Keep coming back. There we go.
Hit the
Thanks,
subscribe,
folks.
all of that kind of stuff.
All of
Do
that
the
stuff.
things.
Thank you. You do that
Do the
for me.
things.
Do the things. Thanks, everyone.